So today I got a little bit too excited and I ended up reading two sections. I read Cleansing the Temple and the Barren Fig Tree. And what I mean by that is that I wrote notes for both of them thinking it was one section. But hey, we'll do two sections today. So we're doing Matthew chapter 21, verses 12 through 22, the Barren Fig Tree, and the Cleansing of the Temple. So we'll start here with Cleansing the Temple. Verse 12. And Jesus entered the temple area, and drove out all those who were selling and buying on the temple grounds. And he overturned the tables of the money changers, and the seats of those who were selling doves. And he said to them, It is written, My house will be called a house of prayer, but you are making it a den of robbers. And those who were blind, and those who limped, came to him in the temple area, and he healed them. But when the chief priests and the scribes saw the wonderful things that he had done, and the children who were shouting in the temple area, Hosanna, the Son of David, and they became indignant. And they said to him, Do you hear what these children are saying? And Jesus said to them, Yes. Have you never read, From the mouths of infants and nursing babies you have prepared praise for yourself? And he left them and went out of the city of Bethany and spent the night there. So the second section we're going to be reading is the barren fig tree, verse 18. Now in the early morning, when he was returning to the city, he became hungry. And seeing a lone fig tree by the road, he came to it, and found nothing on it except leaves alone. And he said to it, No longer shall there be any fruit from you. And at once the fig tree withered. Seeing this, the disciples were amazed, and asked, How did the fig tree wither all at once? And he answered and said to them, Truly I say to you, if you have faith, and do not doubt, you will not only do what was done to the fig tree, but even if you say to this mountain, Be taken up and cast into the sea, it will happen. And whatever you ask in prayer, believing, you will receive it all. So these are two really good sections. So we're going to go over each one separately, starting with the first one, Cleansing the Temple. So this is a pretty solid one. We got some good notes. Thank you, Jesus. So Jesus cleanses the temple, flipping the tables of the money changers and seats of those selling doves. They were disrespecting the house of the Lord by not making it a house of prayer, but a house of robbers or thieves, depending on the version you're reading. Now, you may be asking, how is it a den of robbers or thieves? They are robbing God of prayer / a place of prayer by selling like a market with no benefit to God. So we're going to stop there for a moment, and we're going to break this down. So the reason Jesus said, You're making this place a house of thieves, is because that place, I already said this, but I'm just going to repeat it a little bit slower so you can understand it. That place, instead of being a house of prayer, is now being used for a different purpose, which means they are robbing God by taking that place and changing it from what it was. They are robbing God of prayer and a place of prayer, and instead are selling things for their own benefit. These things typically are not going to be going to God. The chief priests heard the children shouting, Hosanna to the Son of David, while Jesus healed the blind and limp. When the chief priests heard the children, they became indignant. The indignant means that they were showing anger or annoyance at what they saw as unfair treatment. And this is because the chief priests and the scribes are used to having the praise, because they're, the high and mighty. They're the, you could say, the rulers of that time, right? Like, especially of the temple, they are used to having that treatment. And they were like, this is pretty unfair considering, this man is coming, this so-called prophet, right? And then in response to that part, the chiefs and scribes were like, do you not hear what they're saying about you? And Jesus says, he quotes Psalm 8:2. I recommend you read it if you get a chance. It's literally just what he says, showing that he is God. So we'll just read it really quick. From the mouth of infants and nursing babies, you have prepared praise for yourself. So Psalm 8 is referring to, here, let's go to it really quick because I had it on my phone. So Psalm 8 right here. Psalm 8 is the Lord's glory and mankind's dignity. So it says, from the mouth of infants and nursing babies you have established strength because of your enemies, to do away with the enemy and the revengeful. So Jesus is quoting that to the chief priests, showing that he is getting the praise, but also by him saying that he's getting it, he's saying that he is God, right? So Jesus told them, Jesus responded that, showing that he is God, and they were unaware. Totally crazy. I love that because he is telling them to their face who he is without saying it, you know? And that's like the biggest thing about other religions, right? They want to say, where did Jesus say he was God? You know, they think that because he didn't say the words, I am God, that he's not. But he shows so many different times that he is. Oh Lord, especially here, right? Like you don't quote scriptures that God is saying about himself unless you're literally saying that that's who you are. Anyway, we're going to go ahead and move on from that. We're going to do the barren fig tree. So a lot of people know this parable as well. Jesus curses a fig tree because it is not producing any fruit, doesn't have any signs of showing any fruit, no flowers or anything like that. He says, it says in this parable that it was just leaves. And, you know, in the presence of God, you should always have even signs of bearing fruit. And this fig tree did not. So in this parable, Jesus curses the fig tree because it has no signs of bearing fruit in his presence. The disciples asked how the tree withered away all at once. Jesus told them, if you have faith and not doubt, you may ask in prayer, believing, and you will receive it all. So we're going to slow that down because we can read through that really quickly and miss the whole thing. If you have faith, awesome. So we need faith. Not doubting. This is the part that a lot of people get wrong. A lot of people, including myself, because I have said I have faith and then I have doubt. Like it comes right after or during the whole thing. And because of that doubt, it does not come about, which is kind of funny that rhymes. But because of that doubt, the prayer doesn't come to life. So we have to find ourselves in a place of just faith. You know, and getting there can be quite difficult. I do recommend prayer and fasting because prayer and fasting will remove that doubt. Because what you're doing is you're drawing nearer to God. Which puts you, because why would God say that all you need is faith the size of a mustard seed? That is showing that what we think faith is isn't what it really is. It's pure. It's just that. There can't be any doubt. You got to get rid of it. But he says, if you have faith and not doubt, you may ask in prayer, believing of what you ask in prayer, you will receive it all. You could tell a mountain to move into the sea, and it will happen. Hope you learned something today. We'll see you tomorrow.